I am Anne Marie Fennelly, and this is my son, Sean. Sean is 16 years old, and when he was 7 months old, he was diagnosed with Angelman syndrome. Sean had his first convulsive seizure the day after his first birthday. From the time of that first grand mal, we struggled with seizure control and medication adjustments for years. I remember when he was a baby and his neurologist called me to discuss his most recent EEG results. And he told me that he was surprised Sean was making any developmental progress at all. I just remember feeling like I was punched in the gut by both the news and the way it was said to me. And then when Sean was 2 years old and seizing uncontrollably, I called the neurologist and I was told I could bring Sean into the hospital and they would, quote, throw him into a coma and see how he does. I just couldn't believe it. Nobody knew what to try next, but I knew I needed to find another doctor. Sean was never medically stable the first 12 years of his life. He missed about half of the school year every year and was hospitalized more times than I care to think about. We lived in survival mode. Our family lived in survival mode because seizures controlled our lives and consumed our lives. In 2010, when Sean was 10, he started and ended the year in the hospital. He was hospitalized every couple months, but sometimes we only had a few weeks break in between hospitalizations. And then in December of that year, on the fourth day of his inpatient stay, the medical team came to me and said that nothing they had tried up to that point had even touched his seizures. We could either bring Sean home or we could put him into a medically induced coma and hope that we could give his brain some rest. We didn't feel like we had any other choice, so we agreed to the coma. And then one complication led to another, and we finally brought Sean home 56 long days later. I think sometimes a picture really does speak 1,000 words, and I have a picture that I think speaks volumes. Look at this photo of my husband at Sean's bedside. We had never felt so helpless and discouraged in our entire lives. I took pictures of Sean during that hospital stay, thinking that these may be the last pictures I'll ever have of my son. But we never gave up hope. Shortly after that hospital stay, I took Sean to the Angelman syndrome clinic in Boston, and they changed Sean's life. They changed our family's life. I've never met such a compassionate, dedicated team of medical professionals, and they made sure that I knew how much they care. Sean has not had a single seizure since 2012. He is only on one seizure medication. Other doctors told me that he would never be able to come off of some of these seizure meds that he was on since he was a baby. But he did, and soon we just saw this huge cloud lifted off of Sean. I often wonder what those side effects were like for Sean all these years, how he felt being so medicated. And we just immediately saw huge progress, both cognitively and physically. And I'm very happy to say that Sean began walking independently at age 14 and a half. You're pretty proud of that, aren't you? We're still very excited. And Sean chose to do those first steps in front of our whole family one Sunday afternoon with Mom, Dad, and his 3 younger siblings all right there with him. And we were just so excited and proud of him. And he's pretty proud of himself. And it's just our family's quality of life has improved immensely. We attribute so much of Sean's progress to the team in Boston. And he's just been so medically stable since then. And they're incredibly passionate about the well-being of families just like ours, and they constantly show us how much they care. This is a photo of Sean with his neurologist in Boston. You can tell how much they care about each other. I am asking you to support the Angelman Syndrome Foundation and its continued work to make these clinics possible. Without these clinics, Sean would not be the bright, energetic, and happy teenager that he is today. And for that, I'm more grateful than words could ever say. Now is the perfect opportunity to help more people just like Sean. Families like ours depend on it to give our children the opportunities that for a better life that they deserve. Please donate today by visiting angelman.org/donate. And please share this video. Thank you so much.